Porsche lost $20 billion of worth in just 2 years. But it's not just because of the electric car. Porsche became this big of an icon brand because rich people literally threw money at them to become the most profitable car brand in the early 2000s. Now, the same should happen with electric cars, but their strategy killed the brand. Porsche went from the most profitable brand to a renovation project. To understand why everything went so wrong, you first need to understand how Porsche's business model really works. Porsche never made most of its money by selling a lot of cars. It made money by selling shortage. For decades, Porsche kept production numbers low on purpose, waiting lists, limited allocations. If you wanted a 911 GT3 Porsche, you didn't just buy one, you first had to earn the right to buy one, even buying smaller models first to prove the loyalty to Porsche. And then there are the options. A base Porsche looks cheap on paper, but as the paint, the interior package and the margin explodes. This is why rich people threw money at Porsche. Not because the cars were rare by accident, but because Porsche mastered the illusion of rarity and the people paid premium just to be let in. So while this status thing worked for Porsches with a real motor, they went all in on electric cars, trying to sell them on status. Which went horribly wrong, because with a combustion engine, you're buying a feeling, the sound, the history, the craftsmanship. But with an electric car, nobody cares how exclusive it is. People compare range, charging speed and software. It became a tech race, and Porsche wasn't ready to race on tech yet. Their biggest market of status, China, had stopped caring about German badges and instead buying local EV brands. So Porsche poured billions into batteries and electric tech. Money that used to come easy through exclusivity, now burned in a market where they had no edge left. You'd think this was just bad luck. Wrong timing, wrong market. But the next set of numbers turned this from a rough year into a full-blown crisis. In 2025, Porsche's profit didn't just drop, it collapsed by 90%. From over 5 billion euros in profit, down to just 310 million. To put that in perspective, Porsche made basically nothing that year. And the clearest symbol of that collapse was the car meant to save Porsche's future, the Taycan. In 2026, Porsche sold over 41,000 of them. In 2025, just over 16,000. That's not just a small dip. That's a car losing half of its buyers in just 4 years. In China, Porsche's biggest growth market for over a decade, sales dropped by over 26%. The very thing that used to sell Porsches in China, the badge, had lost its power. Meanwhile in the US, now Porsche's largest market, new tariffs added another 700 million euros in cost every single year. So Porsche was losing ground in China and bleeding money in America at the same time. Everyone assumed the loss was simple. Fewer cars sold, less money made. But that's not actually what happened. Out of the 4.7 billion euros Porsche lost, only a fraction came from selling fewer cars. 2.7 billion of it wasn't a sales problem at all. It was a number Porsche had to erase from their own books. Years earlier, the Porsche had already booked the future value of their electric strategy, as if the success was guaranteed. An asset on paper, money they hadn't made yet, counted as if they already had. When it became clear that the future would never arrive, they had to write it off, delete it from existence. And here's what makes this so fitting. Porsche didn't just lose money on cars, they lost money on the number they invented about themselves. The same company that built its entire empire by selling artificial shortage had just been caught doing the exact same trick on their own balance sheet. Porsche spent years convincing people that shortage was worth buying for. And now for the first time the market isn't buying it. That's the thing about illusions. They only work as long as nobody looks too closely. And once you see how this one worked, you start noticing the same trick everywhere. This channel exists to show you exactly that. The system hiding behind the brand you thought you understood. If you want to keep seeing what's really going on, subscribe, because there's a lot more of this coming. Porsche will recover, probably. They always did. But the next time you see that badge, you won't just see a car company anymore. You'll see the trick.